Hi, Johnny Red here. The riots are continuing, even escalating in many cities around the country following the lack of charges on the police officers in the Breonna Taylor shooting. All the major networks are sympathetic to the rioters. They still call them protesters. They still call them largely peaceful. Here are a few examples of the media's pro-BLM bias. First, one is from Bloomberg, and here it is. They give this woman a platform to air her grievances about the supposed injustice done to Breonna.
I'm tired.
No mention of the riots or the burning or the 2 police officers that were shot earlier in the day. Only sympathetic coverage.
Breonna Taylor's life mattered. Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor.
We are not waiting for justice. We are not asking for justice. We're taking it. We're demanding it. And we will be in these streets until justice is served.
Next is a clip from Washington Post.
I've been living in America for over 50 years. So in America been sending out the same signal to me since I was born. No justice for anybody that looks like me.
Protect black women.
So they give this protester a platform to air his grievances.
I'm here today to make sure that you understand something, America. I'm ashamed of you again. You heard what they said, Black Lives Matter.
All the United States, the whole country is guilty.
I'm out here fighting for my human rights. But America, guess what? You didn't surprise me at all. You're the same America that you were in 1865 when you emancipated black people that you are today. We cannot let you keep murdering our kids.
Murdering our kids.
And keep getting away with it.
And getting away with it.
Risk. We are.
Where is he getting this from?
Start blocking stuff. You blocking the community, boarding up. We already knew that's guilt. We know you guilty.
So the whole United States is guilty because of one person that got shot. No, this one's from MSNBC.
I do think everything that everyone is saying is absolutely
The announcer is obviously down with the cause. He says everything they're saying is true. You notice that?
Breonna Taylor that night. There's a sense here that the police are dirty, that the police plant things on people, that they try to, for example, to turn Breonna's ex-boyfriend against her and cut a deal. And so all of this feeds into that narrative.
And where does that narrative come from? It comes from the media. It comes from academia. They teach this stuff in universities, and the news is entirely sympathetic to these outlandish theories of oppression. It comes directly out of Marxist ideology. Cultural Marxism, that's where it comes from. Next, from The Hill, it just shows demonstrators in New York City. No narration in this one, which is refreshing. It just shows peaceful demonstration, and then it shows some protesters throwing things at the police. And then a group shouting, "Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets.
Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. No justice. No peace. No justice.
And then no justice, no peace.
No justice. No peace. Fuck these racist ass police. No justice.
Fuck these racist ass police.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Fuck these racist ass police. How do you spell racist? NYPD. How do you spell fascist? NYPD. How do you spell bullying? NYPD. How do you spell
So the NYPD are racist, they're all fascists, they're all bullies, and they're all murderers. The last one here is just about the 2 officers that were shot. It's pretty factual. There's not much spin on this one. It's a pretty objective report. This is from CBS News.
Two police officers in Louisville, Kentucky have been shot tonight amid protests over Breonna Taylor's death. A suspect is in custody. The police department says no names are being released at this time. Demonstrators are outraged over lack of charges for the officers in Taylor's death. She was shot in her home on March 13th. Just one former police detective was indicted for wanton endangerment when he recklessly fired his gun through the walls of Taylor's apartment and into her neighbors. The city of Louisville has been under a curfew. However, you can see there protesters, largely peaceful, but obviously getting violent at times tonight. Again, two police officers, we have confirmation, have been shot, though we do not have any information about the suspect who is in custody now or the police officers at this time.
Okay, that's the end of the clips. I just want to explain a little bit here about largely peaceful. They've been saying this over and over, and it is factually correct. Mathematically, it may be correct, but it's still manipulative and misleading. If there are 200 protesters and only 20 of them are committing acts of violence, does that mean the protest is largely peaceful? Technically, yes, but actually and morally, no. Those in the protest who aren't committing violence are supporting and in solidarity with those who are. Therefore, they are complicit. This means that everybody there is complicit. This means the entire protest is a violent riot. No one participating is innocent. So calling the protest largely peaceful is disingenuous at best. Of course, we know why they do it. They, most of the media outlets, are ideologically in solidarity with the protesters and rioters. If their ideology permits and even praises behavior like burning down businesses, assaulting random people, shooting police just because they hate cops, and chasing down cars and pulling the drivers out and beating them, then that ideology is deeply flawed. Even if there is systemic racism, which is debatable, two wrongs don't make a right. You don't correct one injustice by imposing another injustice. They want revenge, which is what some of them are saying on the left and on the BLM side, then I will have to be their opposition. They are using fascist tactics while accusing their ideological opponents of fascism. They're a bunch of hypocrites. That's all I can say. That's it. Bye now.